And don't forget to visit teespring.com to get all your no rhyme, no reason merchandise, mugs, shirts, masks, phone cases, and so much more. That's teespring.com. That's teespring.com for all your no rhyme, no reason, and Govs Radio merchandise.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu to you ladies of Spain. For I've received orders put to sail back to Boston, and nevermore shall we see you again.
And welcome back. It is Thursday, 7 o'clock. No rhyme, no reason. So happy to be here, everybody. It's been one hell of a week. Listen, I got some great news and a little bit of crappy news. So either way, we're going to have fun tonight. We're going to have a great time. Listen, I know everyone's just watching me right now, and they're all going like, okay, well, that's kind of vain, isn't it? But listen, we don't have Rich Rada tonight. But what I did was, and nevertheless, we have another Rich, just as great, just as, well, actually, he's more awesome. He's terrific. I love him more so. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the very talented, the very funny, the amazing Rich Walker, everybody.
Woo! Yay, I am here.
So,
where am I on the screen now?
Well, that's on a delay.
Oh, I got
So
you. Was it like a 12-minute delay?
No, 45
Okay.
days.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
So, but wow, it's great. And, so nobody's confused at home. I am not Rich Rada. I am Rich Walker.
Yes.
It's like kind of like when they switched the Darrens on Bewitched. People are tuning in going, what? That's not Rich Rada. It's Rich Walker. Why do whenever I do podcasts, I don't have hair? Like when I look in the mirror, I have a full head of hair. Yeah. I come on a podcast, it's all matted down. And I look like when, what's his name? The actor, the one who played Batman.
Michael Keaton?
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
You saw him like after like 5 years and you're like, where's all his hair?
It
just like
it just disappeared.
That's what I look like. So it's so good to be here. And thank you guys so much for asking me.
Listen, I'm glad to have you back in here.
Yes.
Last time we saw each other and we did something together was on a Zoom. Where
That's right.
We were all in that Zoom phase and nobody was in contact or in close proximity of each other.
Right. And now we're right on top of each other.
Yes.
Which is kind of scary because I had my first vaccination
Right.
and you had none.
Exactly.
Now,
I can't
why
wait
didn't
for
you
this.
have one? Is it Republican related or?
It's well, I can't even use the excuse anymore where it didn't get to my age bracket yet.
Because now you can.
Because now it's 16
even my
and up.
daughter
Yeah.
had one. She's 17.
Now, what was it? Did you guys like figure out which one? You guys were all gonna like separate? Like one
No.
gets the Pfizer, one gets the Moderna, and the other gets the Johnson.
She had Pfizer.
That's
We
not a
had-
bad idea. Kind of like when families like fly separately, just so like the whole family doesn't go down in a plane.
Oh, right. We all got different ones. That's very funny, Sally. And you don't do stand-up.
No.
Yeah, that's really funny. Well, I'm going to be using that. No, I'm kidding. So, always fun with Jeff. When I'm with Jeff, we have a lot of laughs, always.
Every time.
We laugh really, really hard. We were at a wake once. That's what
Yes.
we need to say.
Yes.
We were at a wake. And Jeff and I are sitting in the back of the room. And can I tell this story?
I guess I
And,
mean, hey, listen, you're the guest. You're the man of the hour.
Well, I figured I'd lead. So, well, just to keep it interesting. So, no, I'm kidding. So here's what happens. We're in the back of this wake, and we're sitting in the couch that's crushed in, like, there's no support. It's
No.
like a 30-year-old funeral home couch.
It could have been attributed to my weight, possibly.
And that would be the reason why I was sitting so high and you were so low. So we're sitting in the back, and the priest is up, and he's making this long speech, and he's got the red necktie tassel, whatever you call that, the scarf.
Yeah.
And it's going on, and I turned to Jeff, and I said, Sally, you don't even know this. I turned to Jeff, and I go, aren't you the least bit annoyed that he's using your material? And Jeff laughed so hard under his mask in a very crowded funeral home. I mean, it was packed.
It
Right?
was very crowded.
It was very crowded. I mean, so much they had to open up 3 rooms. So, like, I wonder how many rooms I would be. Would I just be the one half a room, or would I be a 3-room?
You know, I believe
Wake.
if and when I go, I believe it would be the capacity of the little room over here in Governor's. That would be about
I
it.
think it depends on when
Yeah.
you go. Like if you go young, then you tend to have 3 rooms. If you go old, then it's like
Very interesting. I was thinking that too.
No, I just simply think I'd be the, wow, not even one person came to see him.
Aw,
It's like, didn't he have any friends or family?
it's just your wife and your kids.
Not even them.
They didn't even want to be there.
No.
So
They went to
long and
IHOP.
short of it, so we're in the back room and we start laughing so hard, right? Because it just struck us funny.
Right.
And then I said, I have something else I want to say too. And that's as far as I got. And we were laughing.
Oh my God.
We were laughing so hard that all you saw under his mask was this. And people were turning around and looking. So I started rubbing Jeff's back to make it look like he
he was very emotional.
emotional.
I was sitting there like
It was. That might have been my best laugh this year. I never laughed so hard. It was just funny. So,
well, now,
Yeah.
let me at least let everybody know, for people that don't know, that we've known each other for a few years.
Yeah.
I was one of the most awesome, wonderful, most talented student to come out of your teachings.
I was gonna say that. When I got no, don't laugh. It's really. Well, you've done a lot. Look at you. You came out of that class like
Yeah.
wildfire. The first week in comedy, you were in this hallway
Yeah.
with Andrew Dice Clay
Well,
standing next to you.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, telling me like, can you pick up the toilet paper? Now go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
You know?
get out of here. You're in my way. Or you're blocking my way to the toilet.
Exactly. Move
Yeah.
stand to the side.
So you were getting it.
Yes.
You took stand-up
yeah, so-
university.
yes, I did take- I
First.
did take that.
Next class, June 1st. But if anybody's interested out there, for the 5, I don't know, we probably have hundreds of viewers, right?
Oh, easily.
I'm starting to think, their people are
People are commenting. So you want to let me quickly just jump into this.
Someone just wrote, Rich Walker should be wearing a hat.
No.
they
It'd only
should
be
have
me.
a fedora.
Hello, Christine Rum O'Flattery. Oh, Kirsten. I always get that. I always want to call her Kristen for some reason.
Kirsten
Kirsten.
O'Flaherty.
We got Carrie Ann.
Jewish
We
girl.
got Kevin Epstein. Tim Saliani. Oh my God, that guy.
He's hysterical.
He
Tim.
is. He is.
It's funny, during this pandemic, I put up some political posts before the election, I guess.
Right.
And Tim came to my defense unbelievably. Like, I'm like, Tim, you bashed my sister. And but she deserves it, But he was really funny. Really
yeah.
funny.
No,
Good
he's
guy, too.
he's awesome, and every time he opens his mouth, I just start laughing.
He's funny.
He
He's
really
funny.
is.
I never worked with him. Like, I can't wait to work with him.
Right. No, he's great. I mean, like he's very ominous because he's like
Yes, that's a big
6
word for me. Ominous.
Well, because he's a big person.
oh,
so
ominous
he's like
is like presence.
everything. His presence. He's
Yeah.
like 6'8". He's
Yeah.
like he's a mountain of a man.
I saw on his Facebook page he plays the bagpipes.
Yes.
So I think you have to be a big guy to play bagpipes. Otherwise, you get lost behind the bagpipes. Like playing a sousaphone, a tuba.
Tuba.
Like a little kid in that big one that goes around his body.
The whole body.
Yeah, so.
Oh, okay. So when I did take the class years ago, there's 3 professors
Right.
that teach this class, which is one of them being, of course, yourself, Rich Walker,
Myself.
and then you have Peter Bales,
Peter Bales.
and Steve Lazarus.
Steve
Lazarus.
Now, was he in your class?
Yes, yes.
He goes back and forth. He's a snowbird.
Right.
So he goes back and forth. But yeah, we've been teaching it now for 22 years.
Amazing.
23 if you count the pandemic.
Okay.
Where we didn't have a class.
All right.
So-
All right.
But,
all right.
we were in everyone's thought.
Yes.
So that counts.
In your thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
But now, what happened was when I took it years ago, many years ago, I can't even describe how many.
Right. 3 years, 2 months, and 14 hours. No, go ahead.
I immediately got drawn to your sense of humor
Wow. Yes.
because it was just like how your mannerisms were and how your thought process was and how you were just what's underhand compliments that you do.
Yeah. Everybody says, Paul Bond said it about me. When Rich Walker's talking, you better get ready because the other shoe's going to drop. Where, like, if it sounds like a compliment, but it isn't. But, now I forgot what I was going to say. With that, that's my humor. Like I like really, really dragging people in and then hitting them complete with what they weren't expecting. Now, you happen to be like one of my best audience guys. And as a matter of fact, it was James here who said that, I'll tell you, Mr. Walker, he goes, this Jeff Bosey, because you could use 1,000 of them and you'll become famous. 1,000 of you.
1,000 of me?
He said that once.
The world would crumble and fall and wouldn't know what to do with itself if there was like 1,000 of me.
Oh, my God. You know how successful I would be if I had an audience of you in there?
Just lemmings of me.
So, but I have one of
Well,
you.
hey, listen. It's like you got all these fans, and hey, listen. Every single one of them counts.
Yeah.
Now you've been doing comedy for
Oh.
over 25 years.
Yep.
What would be the magical number that you would?
Some
put on
people
it?
would argue that it's comedy, but it's been low. What would you say? What do I owe to it?
No. What would you add on plus the 25 years? Like where are you at now? Like how many years total? If you were to put it all together,
It's actually 26 years.
26
Yeah,
years.
this would be 26 years.
All right. Now let me ask you this: when you first started doing comedy,
Yeah.
how was it at first for you? Because like I know you can walk into any room, you can go onto any stage, and you're just automatically comfortable. You go into your whole routine, you do what you got to do, and everybody, it's guaranteed, everybody always laughs whenever you walk into the room.
Well, I don't know if that's all true, but when I first started comedy, I was running 2 open mics in bars, like local bars.
Right.
I think for the first 8 years of my comedy, I've never not had an open mic. So I was always on stage. I would go up. We even had. There used to be a room called Crawdaddies in Farmingdale or Amityville over there.
Okay.
But it would be like 15 comics. We'd go till 2:00 in the morning on Monday Night Football. We'd have to roll up the screen and watch the 4 guys at the bar get extremely pissed at, what are you doing? I go, well, we have comedy now. Don't you want to see a comedy show? And they're like, no, put on the game. But we didn't care. We went through it.
Right.
But what really happened is we were doing this every week, and I had another one on Route 110 in another bar. And so with constant stage time, and then one of the guys, the comics that used to come down all the time, he got his own corner bar to do a real comedy show with $5 paid admission, and this bar packed out. And it was like our first real show where we were the celebrities and whatnot. And all of us, because of all this stage time we were giving ourselves,
Right.
it was unbelievable. It was like thunder. And then that's when we knew this is what we got to do. And out of like the 15 comics, I think I'm the only one left.
Wow.
No, I'm only kidding. You know who was in that group? Tony Landolfi was in
Really?
that group. Yeah, I
Okay.
started literally with Tony Landolfi.
All right.
He and I, and he knows this show, right? He's been
Yeah.
here. And but he and I were a team.
He writes us every week. It's
he?
I have to keep on telling him to stop, and but
right?
eventually
Are they
he's
complimentary
going to
letters,
get.
or are they actually letters that went to management?
It was actually
Had to
like it was.
cancel.
I think it was like letters of threat. Stop coming to my house. But
Yeah.
he writes every single time.
Yeah, that's funny. So we were a team for about 3 or 4 shows, and it's very hard to be a team because I don't, not egos. We teased each other that it was the other's ego
Right.
that ended it. But like we would do jokes. He was the mechanic looking guy, and I would come out with a nice shirt or a jacket.
Right.
And he goes, "Oh man," he goes, "I got a soup stain on this shirt." And I go, "And you had 4 more wears out of that shirt." But like stuff like that,
Right.
You know, and it was really funny. As a matter of fact, even Peter Bale said, "You guys got to keep going with it." And I don't know what happened really. We would have had fun with it, but there's so many things you're going to try. Like in this business, you give it a shot. If
Right.
it doesn't work, you move on. Like you in this radio show. No, I'm kidding. No, it's working. It's working. Wait, if you laugh,
Oh shit! Oh god!
no, but you try everything. You do everything, and you know, acting classes and improv groups, and you've even done that, right?
I
You're
have.
having a lot of fun in Al
Yes.
Isaac's class.
Yes, he
now
was
that
awesome.
just ended because of the pandemic. Or?
Yeah. All of a sudden,
Terrible.
we were like, we did. I think it was like one class, and then pandemic came and shut it all down.
And you had a full boat in that class, right? There was a lot of people.
There was like, I think more than usual because I think what had happened was I got a little, I jumped the gun and I got a little excited because if everybody knows, I have a page on Facebook
Yeah.
that helps promotes all things Long
Right.
Island comedy.
And the name of the
And
page.
the name of the page is Long Island Comedy Scene, where
So
you
go
can also
to Long Island Comedy Scene, and you
Yes.
could see flyers
on
and stuff
Facebook.
like
Yeah,
that.
so you'll see people posting their shows, their
At
flyers,
upcoming
Like I
shows
said,
at Governors.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone that has a show here in Governors pretty much posts their. You can catch the videos of
Right.
also of like Knock 'Em Dead, No Rhyme No Reason,
Right.
and the other hilarious show, Domestic Disturbance, with
Yes.
Tim, Carla, and
Great,
Keegan.
very funny.
And also Films on Tap. They're a great show also. I love Kevin Scott and all of them when they talk about movies and stuff, and they put their own spin on it, and
Yeah.
it's a great show.
Yeah.
Real quick, let me just bring up, we have Nigel Fulton says, Rich Rada looks really good, like a different person.
Yes, I am.
Nigel, love him. He's great also.
He's very funny.
Lou Pratt.
He and I were in competition
Yes.
for the Long Island funniest comedian.
Yes.
And but who won it?
There was a known Long Island comedian that frequents Governors
Yeah.
that won the contest. Yes.
I forgot who it was. Who?
He's pretty well
We
known. He's a
could
decent
say.
guy.
Yeah.
Anthony Rodia.
Oh, Anthony
Yes.
Rodia, who's
Yes.
a good friend of this show, as a matter of
Yes.
fact. Yes. So he won it. Yeah.
And
Did I come in second or third? I don't even know. I don't even open up the. I got the newspaper, the publication that does the contest,
right.
because I have birds in a cage, and that's the liner underneath. That's only Tim Conlon is the one who wrote that joke, but very funny actor.
But yeah, I don't know what place you came in. I tried to look it up, but I'm pretty sure you have a good shot again next year.
You know what it is, Jeff?
What is it, Rich?
It's like when the Doors did the Ed Sullivan Show,
Yeah.
and you know the story, right? Where they didn't want him to say "get higher,"
Yes.
right? And before the band went on, the band behind the curtain goes, "What are we going to sing in this place?" And Jim Morrison goes, "We're still going to do Get Higher,"
Yeah.
and they did it. And when it was over, the producer came back and goes, "You're never going to do the Ed Sullivan Show." And he goes, "I already did the Ed Sullivan Show," so he didn't care. So it's kind of like that,
Right.
you know.
Well, I like my whole thing is I'm still pretty fresh and decently new, I would still say, and I don't need to. Were you alluding to me like saying something off color, or were you just going off something else?
No.
Okay.
Wait, now you mixed me up. What were we even talking about?
I don't know.
There was a reason why I went into that.
Okay.
There's no rhyme or
No reason. There's no rhyme,
to
no
that,
reason.
Yes. So what is this carrying? It said Long Island is talent mecca. Well, thank you for adding that to our show. You guys are so nice to do this. Carrie Ann, she's so nice. This Carrie Ann Thank you, Carrie.
Yeah, she is awesome. Rich Rada actually tuned in and
You
said,
tune in.
"Finally, Bosie has the rich sidekick he wanted. Thanks, Mr. Walker." That is, listen, I love both Riches. I love the fact that I can hang out with both of you at the same time throughout the year, and I feel double-dicked.
Right. Double dick. Wow, that's funny. Did you had that
I wrote that
planned all day?
Yes, I was sitting there. I was at work. I was like,
double.
dicked. I was writing it down. I
That's
was like,
right.
I'm going to
That's
use that
right.
on my next,
That's
my
really
next thing that I'm going to be doing.
That's great.
Um,
So, what other big names have you had do this show? I know Sally has some big names come through.
well, Sally and Tony, they have everybody in here. They've
I gotta
had.
come by one day.
They even had like some other.
I've been
famous,
saying that for like 3 years. How long?
It really is Tony. Tony will he'll seriously just sit there and he'll see a video on someone and he'll just like, oh, and he'll Instagram them and ask them and they'll be like, sure.
Isn't it amazing?
And he's amazed when people say yes.
You know who I see in the podcast world now a lot? Tommy Chong of Cheech and Chong.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there's a little thing for you. But I see
Now that, pot's legal, he
can't get
he
the
can
other
go
guy.
anywhere he wants to go.
can't get Cheech Marin.
No.
I have a picture of you and Peter if you want to see that.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let's bring that up.
It'll be like 30 seconds.
All right, not a problem. Oh, this is I know this is on
so
your
funny
website,
watching me drink.
isn't it? I love watching these things. But yeah, we're gonna have momentarily up, or we should have up right about now,
Yeah.
the picture of
Okay.
Peter.
Peter and Rich,
You.
and it looks and me and Rich. I believe that's when you were doing your promo for your. Oh, it's very. Oh, that's why, because
Well,
it's
we'll
behind
we'll
the
come
it's behind
to
the talking. That's why we can't see it, because it's.
Oh,
behind
I
the-
see it.
Yeah.
That's when we were doing promos
out
for
of the way.
Stand Up
How's that?
University.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, those are kind of hidden in a guy's studio. We don't know where they are. We only have like 2 that went up.
Yeah.
And we filmed like, I don't know, probably 10 of them.
Well, now you can you had all this time. You probably filmed like at least 10 of them since.
When and if I get famous,
Yeah.
those are going to be like the lost episodes.
Okay.
That'll pop up somewhere,
But like I said, during the pandemic, you guys had all this time, so you easily probably filmed about 10, 15 of them for the
We didn't even see
no.
each other.
Oh.
Now
okay.
that's Peter and I.
Yes.
That was like him doing history.
Right.
I invited him to come tonight, but
Yes.
he said he was something with school. He had he's a professor
Right.
at Queensborough College.
Oh, I thought it was Harvard.
He put in an application to teach at Harvard. But so this is nice. It's beautiful. These studios,
It's nice.
was
It is
this
nice in
done
here.
during the pandemic? The new studio?
Yeah, we actually had intentions of doing it before the pandemic hit, and we had all these plans, and then it was kind of put on hold just because if the club isn't making money, it's difficult to redo an entire room
And ask for a budget, right.
Yeah, so after a bit.
So really, you had plans for this? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It looks great. Actually, this looks great on camera. You don't even see this.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the
yeah.
header of the wall. So we had
Yeah,
to
it looks
kinda keep
great.
that.
It really looks great. Like a real life.
Hello, Taz.
Now, who is Taz?
Taz, the residential artist. She's the one. She usually she draws everybody on everybody.
Right.
She's a great artist. She does a
She
lot of great work.
sketched you
Yes,
and
she-
Rich for the
yes.
No Rhyme, No Reason show.
Yes, she did. She
I
did an
saw
awesome
that.
job.
It was
She's an
great.
awesome person. She was actually in here this past week.
Yeah.
And then
But she lives in what? Seattle?
Oregon.
Oregon. Oregon.
Oregon.
So you've never
Oregon.
actually met her?
Oh no,
I haven't. They
she
have.
came in last week.
Oh.
She was visiting someone on
Wow.
on Long Island, so she came and visited.
She does very funny or quirky kind of rendition
Yes.
of you, but really catches the character of somebody, and almost like a Mad Magazine
Right.
Yeah.
kind of sketch. Really
the,
good.
the way she gets Tony's eyes, I'm like, they're like so soulful. Like she just really gets
mine-
them.
Is that his true spirit? Tony's real
That
spirit.
is his.
You look into
beautiful
his eyes and go,
Yeah, mhm.
"He's so beautiful."
He is.
Yeah, every time I notice when she draws me, it's more of like a pointy nose, an
Like
evil
she's
mouth.
angry.
It has
like
horns.
Like I sucked on a lemon.
Yeah.
Every time,
Like you're just about to poo.
that's the look
That's
too.
the Bosie look.
And what about the tail?
She doesn't draw that low.
Well, maybe one day I'll have the privilege of having her sketch me.
Now, let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Since everything's been opened up, what was it, April 2nd?
Our first class was April 2nd, back to business.
Awesome.
But it was actually not a new class. It was a class that started before the pandemic. And then we,
Have they gotten better since?
yeah, they're
Okay,
funny. They're all
okay.
funny.
All right.
And now we're going to take everybody to a new level. But,
Okay.
you know, we have some people that have been in the comedy world before.
Right.
That want to punch up their material. And you know, our goal is to not have them take the class again, but to know how to write material when they leave the class.
Right.
And leave also with their persona, their stage persona. A lot of comics like, I don't know who I am on stage yet after 10 years, you know. But we kind of nipped that in the butt right off the in the beginning.
Basically telling them, like, it takes a while to find your voice.
Right, but we try to find who the character is early, because you could write for a character,
Right.
You know, like Danny DeVito in Taxi. The writers know what he's going to say. The audience knows what he's going to say before he says it, right?
Yes.
So, and like you, very predictable.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's like everybody knew I was going to be wearing this. Hey, listen. At least I tried to keep a little bit of respect towards to Rich Rada by not wearing my jacket.
Right.
Now,
Does he wear a jacket?
no, he doesn't wear a jacket.
So I gotta
get
tell
made
you,
fun of all the time.
I
for it.
love Sally and I were really digging the fedora. Do you wear it every show? Has it become your trademark?
Yes, because nobody wears a fedora on.
No.
I haven't seen anybody
Right.
wear this. But I saw this. I walked into a store and I saw a fedora.
Yeah.
And not that like I didn't know what one was
Right.
before, but I saw one, and for some reason I fell in love with it.
This one.
Actually, it's a black one that I have. But now
Okay.
I'm starting to find my feminine side.
Yeah.
Ain't too hard because now it matches the color of my shirt.
I
Gray
got
fedora,
you.
gray shirt. You know,
Right.
matching underwear too. But we don't
Yeah.
need to know about that.
Right.
I need to know.
Well, this one is very Rex Harrison, My Fair Lady.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He wore that.
Yeah.
He had that. Is it tweed? What is the pattern in this? People at home probably really want to know about all this, but
Yes.
it's very sharp looking.
Thank
fedora.
you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yes.
Like there are some that had come with the band and a little feather, and I was like, I have no skills to pimp out anybody, so I usually just rip that off and I toss it off to the side.
You don't like it.
No, not a fan of the.
Interesting.
But so yeah, I started wearing this on every
When you
show I do.
invented the character, though, the character
Oh yes,
Dr. Fedora
Yeah,
over the
yeah.
pandemic.
Yes, that's
I remember he really came to life on Halloween with the skeletons at the desks.
Yes.
And Dr. Fedora was giving them
yes,
a lecture.
Yes,
Right?
yes. It was. Everyone got bored during the pandemic, and everyone was like, I was like, well, what am I gonna do? I had to cope with not. Like with doing something entertaining, no
Right.
matter how ridiculous, how off the wall it was. And like I said, I've already started wearing the fedora on some shows I've done.
So that was before.
Wearing this before, but then what happened? I was like, you want to know what? Let me come up with like this character and everything, because like everyone's like, you got Dr. Fauci and you got Dr. this and Dr. whatever. So I was like, you know what? It's I wear a fedora. It's stupid. I'm going to call myself Dr. Fedora.
I love it. It's
Yeah.
great. It's a great character.
So yeah, I did
Now,
that.
do you have any written jokes for Dr. Fedora yet?
No, amazingly
You
enough,
see,
I do not.
How
I
great
do
would
not.
that be if in your act we get you some jokes? I'll help you with that. We'll get you some
I
jokes.
appreciate it.
Dr. Fedora.
Right.
And wouldn't it be funny if people thought you like were
An actual-
they ask you what kind of doctor are you? And he's German,
Of course.
Right.
Uns yes.
uns yes.
Uns yes.
And
Everything is uns.
We'll have to figure that out. We have to figure out a way to make him interesting.
But listen, you see, that's the shit I'm
No, I'm
talking
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm very bad. Don't pay attention to me. Oh, Pete King is watching us.
Oh, okay.
That's
Peter
the
The guy.
town of Huntington, right? Council.
Oh yeah, he's
Sorry,
running.
Pete. What?
He's running, correct?
Again? No, he's done.
Oh.
He retired. Pete King. Well, nice to have you on, Pete. Dr. Fellatio Fedora
Of
is
course.
better. Greg
DiFilippo.
DiFilippo, very
Yes.
funny. Yes.
Yes. He's one in a million of people that I would definitely not want to like meet in public.
We haven't yet, right?
We've seen him. We've
Elizabeth
talked-
Batapete is on. I know
Yeah,
her
she's
for years,
awesome.
Yes.
Let's see who else we have. There's a lot of names that are up there that I don't even know. But you want to know what? Hello, everybody. So, like I was saying, so you started off. You got your classes
Is
started.
this interesting to people?
It is.
Let's
because
talk
I
about
wanna-
our funny stories. Let's talk about Santa Claus.
Why? Listen, you gotta stop. I don't want to talk about me whatsoever. This is your you son of a bitch. Let's talk about the Easter Bunny.
No, you don't know. Remember the costume?
Yeah, I know what. Yeah. Oh, that's.
Did you ever tell this story?
No, I love. You know what? You know what? You're right. You know what?
Tell
Screw
him-
this. Go ahead. I want to. Oh,
No, you
okay.
tell it.
Okay. So each year, in front of my house, I go ahead and I dress up like Santa.
The best kick-ass Christmas house. You got to go. He does Christmas and Halloween.
Yes.
No Easter.
No, well, no, it's not like an attraction for
It's
Easter.
definitely no Valentine's Day because there's no love in that house.
Exactly.
No, I'm kidding. So anyway, and
You
no
met my
Father's Day.
No Father's Day.
You should have a Father's Day house. How funny would that be?
The Father's Day house is me not being there. That's their Father's Day house.
Right. It's you sleeping on a couch on your front lawn.
So,
Go ahead. So
so I go ahead
Christmas.
and I I do Christmas every year and I wear a Santa outfit and I go ahead and I get into the whole get up and everybody loves it. Everybody actually comes around, drives around and
and let me
it.
just add to it.
Yes.
Jeff comes out into the street and gives out candy canes to passing motorists.
Yes.
Right, passing
Yes.
cars, and they roll down their windows and they look at this Christmas house, and you have Jeff
doing nice
give
things.
nice things. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So when
do
there
you know
was
this story, Sally?
No.
No,
Oh, okay.
she's learning about it the first time. So one evening, me and Rich are hanging out.
We did an open mic.
Yes, we
We're
did
in
an
the
open
parking lot after the show.
Yes. And
Now let's set it up. I was also Santa at
Yes.
White Post Farms.
Yeah, so you were telling me how you do Santa in White Post Farms.
Right.
And I'll let you go because I love
Well,
this is- I love
said, here's what I said to Jeff. I said, you had to see my costume at White Post Farms. I had a $500 suit. It was the old Santa, like, you know, the
You went to Ruby's in the city.
I said I went to Ruby's Costume in the city where they have the private stash of the real Santa costumes.
Not like the ones.
And I said, not like the cheap, shitty ones from Party City. And you broke out laughing really hard. Why are you laughing? And you said,
I was like, that's where I got my Santa outfit was Party City.
but we couldn't breathe. I was so embarrassed
He's
in
like,
the party.
it's great. No, I didn't mean
I
it
go,
that
no, those
way."
are good, you know, for what you do. I mean, in front of the house, you know. But we were laughing.
I was like, it was just so funny the fact that it's like, yeah, not one of those cheap ones out of Party City. I was like, that's when I get my Santa outfit.
But now the funny thing is I you must have been embarrassed because this year you got a kick-ass costume from Target. No, you got a kick-ass costume, right?
Right.
But you spent some bucks on it.
Yeah, I actually
But
did.
remember the Party City costume was like that felt, like if you pull it, it'll
It's like one size fits all. Yeah.
size-
just-
No, actually, I'll tell you this: it's not one size fits all. They definitely have large, extra large, and
extra,
you have
extra
diabetes.
large. Yeah.
So,
Is that what it says it on the
yeah, it
package.
says like
And-
large, extra large, and you have diabetes.
Yes, obese.
Yes.
Well, that was funny. And, but go see him this year coming up, where you're going to get to see a really nice Santa costume. Right?
So
So you had it all dry cleaned already from last year, ready to go?
it's
boxed
ready to go.
up and
Yes.
like a wedding dress, ready to go.
Well, no. Let's not make that a same thing. You know, Santa and wedding. No, that'll never happen again.
So
Ever.
those are my
Ever.
funny Jeff Bosey stories.
Well, listen. Every moment with Rich Walker is a funny story.
Okay. He's just saying that because I was the only guest they could find to fill in for Rich Raider.
Now, let me ask this. Have you done any shows lately?
A lot of illegal ones.
Yes.
I've been doing a lot. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like for the Underground Railroad?
Well, you know what? Believe it or not, I've been doing private parties. Like I did a 50th birthday party. I did another party. It was a real estate company for his employees. He had a little private party in the back. Like these were both back of restaurants, like in a little room. But little stuff, and of course, tons of, radio work. 'Cause that's all we could do.
Right.
But I am, for one, dying for this to open up again, the comedy world.
Right.
As
well,
you know, it
it's
stinks.
like I said, it's the doors are open. It's just a matter of like how wide they're open. Right now, they're only open at like 33% to 50%. So I believe once
See, here's the deal.
once there's another. Go ahead.
Well, if people like you get the vaccination,
Yes.
the sooner we could get back to. Sally, were you vaccinated yet?
No, but I have an appointment for
There you go.
next Sunday.
Beautiful. See,
Well, that
so
or
but
we
that
can-
is going to make it faster.
I wanna aggravate
but if
you.
people are still getting sick, they're not going to open it, right?
wanna-
Because, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
Illness is on its way. So I'm saying you need to get vaccinated. Jeff, of all people, I don't want you to be the last one not vaccinated. And then, did you hear Jeff got COVID? That's why I haven't seen him in so long.
And that's
No.
where it leads up to the whole thing of
Now,
where
what about your family?
They'll hold it in the
Was
living
your-
room.
What about your daughter?
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
Nicholas, that your son didn't yet, right?
Right.
But how did Renee and Sarah get it yet? Am I giving out too much info?
Yeah, well, no, well, it's too late now.
This is not a politics thing. Do you look at it as politics?
No, not at all. But what I was going to say real
Yeah.
briefly, because I know I'm going to poke a nerve. Well, listen, maybe everything can open up as soon as one more sexual allegation comes out on Cuomo.
Yeah, or Gates.
Or Gates, yes, that too.
You want to talk about that? I just heard on the radio coming in that he was flaunting pictures of, we're going to get political for a minute, of the 17-year-old girl and bragging how they shared her. He shared her with another, and there's 8 witnesses
Now,
to it.
who are you talking about?
The Congressman
Congressman Gates, the Republican out of Florida.
Yeah, out of Florida.
Yes.
So it's going to be interesting.
But yeah, I mean, now, let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
Do you think that all of a sudden, out of all the years, Cuomo made pot legal
Right.
because of all the trauma that's
The
going around?
allegations and
Yes,
stuff?
the allegation, all the trauma that's going around him right now.
As Sally, as a woman, would understand, this was flirting. He's single, and he was flirting.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until you slip on the sausage.
That's right.
Okay.
So, I don't know. We don't. I never. That's one
Yeah,
thing.
none of
everybody,
it bothered me. And we even watched like the videos, the one that they were complaining about with the sausage sandwich. And if you watch the actual full video, it's so silly.
Do you think so? You actually think that it's going up and beyond? You know what
I
it
think
is,
the sexual stuff they're just trying to nail them.
right? I
I'm not
agree
saying
with you.
that there are other things that people have, complete normal issues with as a politician, but as far as that stuff, none of that stuff
Yeah.
bothered me. But hey,
Hey, it's Mike Nicolia.
How you doing?
So,
Happy Hanukkah.
but with that, if we're going to go into politics real quick, okay, maybe it was very uncomfortable
Right.
for the girls. And again, I wasn't there. I don't know.
Right.
But we've all been in situations where men are extremely aggressive and flirtatious.
Right.
Like my wife works on the railroad. And
Right.
If there'd be 500 less conductors if they got canceled out for doing that.
Right.
My mother used to work. She was the token woman out of 50 men. This was years. It's long passed away. But
in what industry?
a phone company.
Okay.
And she said
Wait,
she
wait.
came home with stories of
Sex
men.
phone operator?
She was a sex. What did you call
Sex
it?
phone operator?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but there would be men. I remember stories hearing of them pinning her against the wall, trying to kiss her, but she used to just go, "I'm the only woman out of 50 men. Of course they're gonna like." You know what I mean? Like it was no. I never heard her saying, "This is uncalled for." I know it's a different time, but you know, if a woman spanked me or grabbed my ass, I'm not like, I was like, wow, thank you.
Right.
You know, it's different. Maybe, double standard, but I don't know. I think you have to look at, because these allegations that I'm not hearing anything that I haven't seen or heard before. Not by me, but
Of course, no.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've seen worse
Yes.
at a bar. So,
Right.
and he's single and, you've had men put their arm around you and go, come here, I'm going to give you a bend. They kiss your head.
Yeah.
I still get that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, but I'm not like, oh, that was weird. Like, Jeff Bosie just kissed me. You
Well,
know?
what makes it weird is when
I
they grab your
accept
ass.
I
you
don't
know.
know. It just happens. And I think that also, like, they had the allegations years ago with Biden,
Right.
How many times have you been at dinner and someone comes up to you and starts massaging your shoulders and it's like uncomfortable, right? They start massaging you. Like,
And that pushes the weird button, I think.
it does, but you're like, you always play it off and
Right.
you go, that's good, but it's weird, right?
Yeah.
So if Como did that, where he started massaging a girl in his office,
Right.
I used to work in an office, and the girl that sat next to me, who was a good friend of mine, the boss came over and zipped up her back because the zipper came down on the back of her blouse or dress or whatever it was. She wigged out. She hated him
Right.
as a boss. So I understand it. Is that weird? If someone came up and pulled up your zipper at a wedding, you're sitting there, and a man came over and
At a wedding?
yeah. You're sitting at a wedding table, let's say. This was in the office.
I thought you meant at work.
This was at work.
If it was at work, it'd be really bizarre. Yeah.
It would.
Yeah.
For me,
Like if you're sitting here,
If
and
it's
I'm on
someone
your
that you
show-
don't like, it would be bizarre. If it was us, it's different.
right? So every situation's different.
Every situation's different. And I could tell you that, like, the things that, people got away with years ago were really awful.
Yeah.
And then the things that, like, I'm old. And, the things
No.
that,
No,
that
you're not.
happened with
No.
me,
Right.
like, was awful.
you're still breathing.
Yeah, but I could tell you right now that the women in their 20s, they have no patience for this.
Right.
They really, really don't. Like they don't
Well,
at all.
this
And
is-
the men that they're growing up with in the 20s do not do this. They don't.
Right.
Like we've got two, 20-something-year-old boys in the house, and neither one of them would, and it's not like I'm like, you should never zip up someone at the office. They don't do it.
right.
my
You
whole-
tell them your zipper's down the back. That would be okay. But
no,
not,
they probably wouldn't even bring it up. They would wait for some woman to come along and do it.
right.
Yeah.
Well, my whole
Well, that's
thing
very
is,
interesting.
I go ahead and if something's like I said off with let's say a zipper's undone or whatever it is, I'm like this. You might want to go fix that, and I walk away. If you want to look
Right.
like a fool, look like a fool. I don't even listen. I've gotten to the point of where I'm not even. I used to be that gentleman. What you were taught was you hold the door open for a lady.
Right. You're a gentleman.
Yes, but
Right.
you want to know what? I was a gentleman
Yeah.
until I started. No, I don't hold the door open anymore. That's it. I'm done. I'm done because you
Oh,
want to know why?
because you don't know how they'll take it.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with it. I was like, you want to know what?
You hold the door open for me all the time, Bose.
But I hold the door open equally for women and men.
Right.
Yeah,
I
so
do
do
the
I.
same thing.
So do
I do exactly
I
the same
tried
thing.
to.
Right.
I had one person.
I hate it when they don't say thank you.
Yes.
I go, you're welcome.
I always say thank you.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, and you,
there
but you,
are
do the,
people
but
that
you, do,
don't.
you open the door like when they don't say nothing. You go,
And they
you're
walk by me and I
welcome.
go, you're welcome.
Okay.
Is that wrong? But
No.
if I went like this,
Yes.
like this,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
my best
Right.
buddy.
Yes. Who told you to stop?
No, but you're not. Now watch, that'll come out if I ever got famous. There'll be a video of this you found, and they're like, he's abusing him.
That or we didn't know he.
There'll be a whole
he was,
jury going, I don't
We didn't know he was
about that.
gay.
But like, for instance, Jeff,
Yes.
right? I was at a Christmas party.
Yes.
I won't name where.
Okay.
And Jeff went around all night with his fly down. Now, I didn't go pull it up. I just let it,
You
his
just go-
shirt.
You just point.
No, I didn't even point. I let him walk around with his fly down.
Wait a minute.
That never happened.
I was like, wait a minute. I you didn't tell me the whole night. You know.
I didn't want to embarrass you.
Okay.
And you had toilet paper on your shoe. You were a mess.
Well, you
No,
know,
I'm kidding.
I had been like, in the back, and there was somebody.
Hey,
You know.
that wasn't me. That was Dr. Fedora.
I know. I was like, it was some other guy. All right. So
Yeah.
real quick, which is not quick.
That's your. You used to have shirts that say "real quick."
real quick because I always say real
And
quick.
it never is.
No, it
it's
never
like
isn't.
a long. We talk for 25 minutes. Go ahead.
Real
what do you
quick.
say? Real quick.
Tell everybody out
Yeah.
there, okay, about Stand Up University.
Stand Up University is a class we teach if you've ever had the dream of becoming a stand-up comedian, or you're a comedian that really hasn't found yourself, or you want to work on a whole new set list for your act. And some people go, I haven't written anything in a year. Well, come to us and we'll get you writing again. But it's a class, we've been teaching it now for 22 years at the Governor's Clubs.
Yes.
We teach it out of the brokerage in Belmore.
Yes.
And Peter is like a 40-year veteran stand-up comedian. I've been doing it 26 years. And Steve is about 25 years.
You would never tell.
You would never know by looking at us or watching our act. But over the years, we figured out a lot of tricks of the trade, and we'd love to have you in our class. So go to standupuniversity.com, learn all about us, and then if you want to register, our next class is June 1st. We're in the middle of one now, so you can't get in that.
Right.
And we have a good time. We laugh from 6:30 till about 10 o'clock at night. Every class, right?
Yeah.
Even Jeff comes down. He helps us sometimes. And
I've been known to stop down and check out
Yeah.
what I would guess it would be the newbies.
yes. And you're like, shit, I can never be that funny.
Exactly. Every time.
No.
Every time.
But we have a lot of fun. It's fun, right?
It
We
is.
Make it
Listen,
fun. And this is for, real quick, I just want to say before I forget.
Real quick.
It's for real quick. It's for people also that have said they always wanted to try stand-up comedy at least once in your life. And now you're doing it in a group environment with a bunch of people who have never done it either, and we all graduate together. And then what you do after our class is your business, whether you want to pursue the comedy career,
Yes.
Become a real funny comedian, or do a podcast. But you could do it all. And look at that. We have our logo up there. But we have fun.
God damn it, Rich.
But think about this, Jeff. That's a joke.
Yeah,
but
no, I know.
we've had people, we had one guy go on and started writing for Daniel Tosh.
Right.
Tosh.0.
Right.
We had one guy graduate our class, went on to buying 3 comedy clubs. He's not in the business right now, the comedy club business, Mark Lund took it.
Okay.
We've turned out Chris Roach,
Right.
who was on Kevin Can Wait.
Right.
Chris Monty, who's out there, who's done every TV show.
He is very funny.
Right. Right now, Chris Roach is going, how come he didn't say that on me?
No. You want to know what?
But funny
listen,
that
Chris
Eric
Roach is funny
Tartaglia-
too, but I've seen
We've
more of
had-
the works of Monty.
Yeah, right.
So-
but we've had so many Eric Haft. We've had
Yeah.
Eric Tartaglione.
Yeah.
These are all prominent names that have been doing it for over 20 years. So
Love Haft.
maybe we know what we're doing.
And Tartaglione.
They're both real funny, and plus amongst
And Roach.
100
and
other
Walker.
guys. And we had Jeff Bosey
Yes.
take it, and we're not responsible for everybody. Is anybody laughing?
Nobody's been well. Okay, there was a couple of laughs earlier, but they're sitting there going like, "Wow, look at these guys."
Yes.
Thank God we're not paying to see these guys on stage right now. Right this
Well,
second.
I'm an inspirational comic. You know, people when they're watching me, they sit out there and go, "Man, if he could do it, I could do it."
I
Is that
always
a joke that's been told in this studio before? No, right?
I've heard a lot of jokes.
I always love when you told me the story of
Yes.
one time you were you opened up for Gilbert Gottfried,
Yes.
and after the show you were standing out to the thing to do is like after the show you
Stand
greet,
out in the-
you stand out and
greet the
you
people.
greet the people as they're leaving, and I love. Can you tell me that story again?
I don't remember it. Which one was it?
Where there was a
Don't give away the punchline.
No, I'm not. It's they're coming out and greeting, and you're standing next to him, and then
Oh, this is something people are rude when they leave a show, and sometimes they don't.
Really?
Well, they don't know what they're saying. Like this,
People
like
just seem so grateful when they're leaving. Like
They
they
are.
love doing that meet
they
and
are. But let me
greet.
give you an example of what I'm talking about. They say off-color remarks that you don't know how to take. Right? Like I did a show. I opened up for Gilbert Gottfried, and we're both standing by the door right here at Governor's. And a guy comes out and goes up to Gilbert and goes, "You were great. You were so funny. I couldn't even breathe. I was laughing so hard." Now, out of the corner of his eye, he sees me standing there, and he goes, "You were good too," which we all know is very rude to a comedian, you know? So, but he didn't know. But like, I had a guy come up to me after a show once, and he goes, "I want to talk to you." And he goes, I go, "Oh, yeah, why?" And he goes, "Hey, I thought you were funny." Rude. I did a nursing home. It was a woman's 95th birthday party, and I was her gift. She thought she was getting a stripper, but which sucked because at the end of the day, I had to give back all the singles. So I was a disappointment on two different levels, comedy and without my pants. But she comes up to me after the show. And now you understand I've been working on my craft for at that point, about 23 years I'm doing comedy. And I'm proud of what I do, you know?
Sure, well,
And
yeah.
yeah, after 23 years of longevity. And she comes up to me, the 95-year-old woman, it's her birthday. And she goes, "You'll find something." So that's what I'm talking about when people don't know what they're saying. And like I've stood at the end of the show with Jeff, and people are extremely rude to him. No, okay. They love Jeff. Come see Jeff in a show. When is your next show?
if you want
I'm
to
sorry.
find out,
We'll get you work. No, when is your next? When is your next Thursday? No, when is your?
exactly. Like, you know what, the one thing I said was,
And don't recommend him because he'll snap.
you're such a tool. God damn it.
Are you kidding?
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
Adam Snare says,
Is he on there?
Yes.
Oh, that's
they're
so funny.
fake. Rich Walker wears fake eyelashes. Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Eyebrows or eyelashes?
I don't know which.
Because I used to tweeze my eyebrows.
Yeah.
And now I'm like letting them go a little bit.
Okay.
But John
Letting
Consoli.
your hair down a little.
Was John Consoli ever here? Very funny guy.
Yes.
He goes to me. Every time I put a post up on Facebook, he would go, "Best eyebrows in the business," because they used to be all tweezed, and,
Right.
You know, and you would see the white because the sun
didn't
get to it. Yeah. But during the pandemic, I said, let them go. Everyone's letting themselves go, right?
Yeah, thank you.
So, comedy is so easy. I don't know why you struggle. So, no. It's a.
I love it. Everybody, this is great. This is why I love hanging out with him so much.
Rich Raider, don't worry, I'm not looking for your spot. Somebody complimented Rich's eyelashes, so I said they're fake. Oh! Yeah, are you sure it was eyelashes and not eyebrows? Eyelashes, I do have thick eyelashes, so maybe it is eyelashes.
Well, you wear eyeliners, so.
We just won Adam Snare, by the way, very, very funny comedian, and now he is moving. He's
Yeah,
leaving
he's
us.
leaving us, so
He's going to Florida.
Yes.
I'm sad.
Which
have
I
a memorial
highly
for him?
recommend
Yeah,
for
I like
stage
him.
time.
Yeah, I
Jeff
like him a lot.
goes there.
What?
No, I said he's going to Florida. I said which for stage time, which I highly recommend. Jeff moves there. No, they love him. He's what? Carrie Ann complimented. Thank you, Carrie Ann.
And she's
Oh, she
yelling.
complimented your eyelashes, so she loves your
Oh, I
eyelashes.
got you. Yes, I see now. Yes, thank you, Adam. Yes, he is such a great supporter of stand-up
He is.
comedy.
He is. He is. You want to know what? I'm sitting there going, I was like, at certain points, I was like, well, shit, I'm just going to give him the password to Long Island comedy scene. I can get back to work and make a paycheck now.
Yeah, now he needs Boca Raton, wherever he's going. I forgot. What?
Well, look up Steve Lazarus. He's probably down there.
Yeah,
so,
he's there too.
forever.
So, but this has been a lot of fun. I'm not looking at the clock.
No, not at all.
I was looking at the clock going like, moo, fucker. No, I'm kidding. That's an old joke. It's an old stock joke.
So now, like I said, so now when you get back on stage, do you feel that like you got to like knock some rust off, or do you think that you can just jump right in?
I am always very rusty. I think my act is rusty even when I'm not rusty because, like, I go off on tangents sometime and I go, what was I talking about? And thank God somebody in the audience will go, you were talking about your wife's shoes or whatever.
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know. I think I was always rusty. I once saw live Murray Langston. You know who that is? The unknown comic. Hey, Chucky Baby, Chucky Baby. I saw him in Vegas.
Yes.
And he said he used to like to take off 2 months, like in the summer, and come back because his material felt fresh again. It was like, because once you start getting the repetition of it, and sometimes you go on stage, you don't even know you're telling the joke. Like I used to do a joke about my wife we had another baby, and my kids are grown up. But after the show, the woman goes, congratulations on the baby. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because you said in your act you had a baby. I'm like, oh, I didn't even remember.
Right.
So you want to, this pandemic, I've seen some comics haven't been on stage in a long time. You grow. They've grown. I'm like, wow, how? And they go, I don't know. Everything is like so. You're thinking about your act again. Right. So I think it helps in some cases. This was a long stretch, a year, but I think that people will start getting back in the saddle again and having a lot of fun. So come out and see us.
Sorry to
in the
interrupt
shows.
you, but
Yes.
Elizabeth had a question.
Yes.
Let me scroll down. How old is the average student at the comedy school?
Okay. We've had from age 11 to like 88 was ours. We had a woman, we helped her up on stage. We've had all kinds of people. The comedy is timeless, or ageless, I should say. Any age can do stand-up comedy, and we love to have you. You'll see when you get in there. Sometimes it could be. We have a guy in this class now who's only 18, and so we have to help write the material that's age appropriate.
Right.
We talk about that too. For a young guy under the age, Jerry Seinfeld has a rule called the
39 and a half.
39 and a half rule.
Yes.
Anything over 39, if you're going to talk about having sex, is gross to an audience. But
Okay.
if you're under the age of 39, or you're, let's say, a young college guy talk about getting laid, it's appropriate and the audience accepts it, right? Or dating, or whatever. But once you cross that line, it's weird. It's very weird to an audience.
Turn into a creepy old man.
Or if that's part of the joke,
Well, I saw years ago. I opened up he was on his last limb. Jackie Mason.
Oh my God!
It was upstate, and he's on stage going. So I'm giving it to her like this, and I'm doing this, and I'm stripping her, I'm giving her. The audience was appalled because it was so gross. It was just gross.
Yeah.
So, but anybody could take it. We'd love to have you. Where is Carrie Ann located?
Oh no, I think that was from Elizabeth
yeah,
Batapede.
that was
Elizabeth.
Yes,
Batapede.
Elizabeth Batapede. I mean, like I said, you've had.
Elizabeth took my class, didn't she?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Adam Snare said that he started at 44.
Yeah. Which is way too late. But he's no, it's not. It's not. He's going to do great. Look, nobody knows a young Rodney Dangerfield.
No, because I believe. What's the story about him, real quick?
Real quick. Well, he was always doing comedy, but he wasn't discovered until he was in his 60, late 50s or 60.
So I only got about 20 more years till someone finds me.
You have plenty of time. You're doing great. And especially, you're going to need time with that act. No. I love watching the questions.
So do I.
Oh, well, Elizabeth, take it. You're going to have a ball.
Well, you'll have, it'll be definitely fun.
Yeah. Our next goal is to get Tony and Sally.
They would be.
They do the day here, by the way.
Yeah, no, I mean that would be terrific. Like if.
But look at seriously, all serious and joking aside. Jeff took the class.
Yes.
How long ago? 3 years.
3 years ago.
And look at how much fun he's having in the comedy business. Seriously, no
No,
joke.
okay, no, seriously.
Aren't
it's,
you?
It's like I said, if you're gonna pursue it, you have to dedicate yourself to it. You have
Right.
to accept it. It's
Right.
a blast. You meet so many great people. You know, one day, you know, you'll meet someone. No, I don't want to use
Well, you
that.
know what it is?
But
You know,
no, it's
Elizabeth.
great. It really is.
Elizabeth, think about this, and I don't know your situation, but like Jeff, you had no life before, and now you have friends,
right.
and you're in a
Yeah.
comedy world.
Finally, it only took me like so many years.
Jeff is one of the big forces in this business. You really are. He
I
came
appreciate
in
it.
like a gangbuster, extremely supportive of stand-up
Yes.
comedy, and you're in the right place. And I think you're doing a great
I
job
remember-
with this radio show. You and Rich both are. And
I appreciate that. I remember, what was it, when I first started out, and Tony and Sally were like, let's just have anybody in. And then I came in.
but you sat on a show with me. in
Well, that
your
was that,
studio.
that was another show, but I'm talking about like when I first started,
Yes.
3 years ago. And then I came in on their show. They're like, oh, well, he says he's a comedian. We'll have him in here. And then they learned, but after that, like, let's just say after that day, they learned we need to start to like really do a background check on guests that come in
After you.
after me. So,
Not true.
so it was a learning
Not
experience.
true.
I'm joking, everybody. No, I
Not
love
true.
I love Tony and Sally. They're great people. They they're a little bit of awesome in my book.
There you are.
Now your next class starts when? We already
I
know
said
that you went
June
to book.
1st is
June
on
1st
this
is your next one.
Then the
Is that
next
already
one will
filled
be in
up?
September. It's filling now. We're about
filling now?
halfway there. We cap our class at only 10, so you want to move quick. Go to the website, standupuniversity.com, and our info will be there. You can email me, text me, or whatever, and we'll send you the info how to register for the class. That's all.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How can people find you real quick before we go? Real quick.
Well, I have
This
a
is
website.
gonna be the topic of the show.
By the way, I want to say one thing
Yes.
also. A comedian, Chris Monty, and I just started our own TikTok page. So if you're on TikTok, please go and follow us at The Monty and Walker Show. MONTY, Monty and AND, Walker Show. On TikTok.
Yes.
The Monty Walker Show. We need you. Watch our clips. We have 4 up now, but there's going to be tons more coming. That's it. That's what we want right now.
That's awesome.
Sorry. Sorry. I figure, I didn't want to come here and just waste my time talking. So
Now look, you made it.
I'm not that nasty. I'm never this nasty. Only to Jeff.
No, listen,
no.
It's
Jeff is the best sense of humor. That's why I do with him. Some comics you can't joke with.
really
Ugh. They don't get it.
no.
No.
They suck.
You ever sit in the green room sometimes with these comics?
No,
Like
I had to get on stage to get into the green room.
I came one night
Yeah.
in this green room, and
Yeah.
in the green room
Right.
is a famous comedian.
Okay. I wasn't there that night though.
No,
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know if I should say his name, but I mean really famous.
Okay,
I mean
but-
$100 million
Okay, so he was
big name.
A-lister,
Movies,
A-lister, okay.
television, the works.
A-lister. Got it.
And I walk in, I see him. Now, I knew him from the old days before he moved to L.A. and became a big star.
Right.
And I said, hey, so I heard you're doing well now. You're doing pretty good. And everybody in that green room, their ass went this tight, and he didn't laugh at all. That's an obvious joke.
Right.
And he's major success.
Yeah.
But everyone's attitude is like, who are you to say something? It's a joke. Relax. Lighten
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
You have to lighten up as a comedian. You have fun. Jesus Christ. All
Now,
this
let me ask you this
cancel
briefly.
culture. Yeah.
Do you find that most comedians that make it big, that at times they...
Oh, there's Chris Monty's picture. There's my
Oh, yes.
friend, and we do it. Yes.
Love Chris Monty
So,
once again
The Monty and Walker Show
on TikTok.
on TikTok, or TikTok right?
Right.
Okay, go ahead. So you just say.
Do you find that most... it's more common for comedians that become A-listers and become big that they forget their grassroots of where they came from?
They do.
And why was that? Be real quick.
Well, maybe the thing is after you become famous, you get busy.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I don't blame anybody, moving on. And I don't know. I say be nice to the people you meet on the way up because you're going to meet them on the way down.
Right.
But you know what? Number one, it doesn't hurt to be human
Right.
and treat people like human beings. I still meet with people after shows and I say hello to them.
Right.
And no matter how big I am, Sally's like, I understand. She's like, he really is big. He's a big name.
Well, like
No,
I said, I mean,
teasing.
like an example, when you have Dice going hey, get the fuck out of my way. I mean, it's like, listen, I could be.
But there
fan.
are other guys like you
I
remember
could be.
Robert Schimmel.
Yes.
I mean, he was huge. Robert
Yeah.
Schimmel. If you even engaged in a conversation, they said you couldn't even walk away. Like he was like, oh, and he starts talking. I had a great conversation with Gilbert Gottfried.
Right.
And I was talking about. I said next door I get breakfast at this deli right
Yeah.
here next door, and he goes, "Don't you love breakfast?" He goes, I love bacon. I go crazy. This went on for a half hour talking about bacon,
Right.
and I'm thinking to myself, I'm with Gilbert Gottfried talking about bacon, But there's human beings, Dom Irera, big name
Yeah.
in the Congo.
Absolutely.
Human being. Even there's so many great guys, even we'll take time to talk to you. Bobby Collins.
Yes.
It's a big on the circuit, huge name. I've had great conversations with him, in that green room.
Yeah, he's supposed to be here, I believe, in April, I think.
Oh,
he's going to be here. So
Come
Not
see
April,
that show. He's really funny.
I think in May, excuse me. I'm not sure. Check the website.
Yeah.
Don't ever quote me on anything because
Yeah.
I'm very limbo. Either way, listen, Rich Walker, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, and thanks,
Thank you.
Rich Rada at home.
Listen, Rich Rada, I hope you're here next week because
This
as
was
you can
horrible.
see, I struggle as horribly as I did, but still, either way,
Yes.
we had fun tonight. Walker, you're always welcome to hang
Thank
with
you.
us.
I appreciate
We
that.
love you.
Thank you.
You're
I had
amazing. You're
fun.
funny.
Yes.
But other than
And thanks to Tony and Sally for running
Yes.
a great station.
Yes.
Thank you to Governors.
Thank you.
Thank you, governors. Thank you, everyone. Listen, you have great shows coming up. Please watch them. You have, you always got Tony and Sally Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. They have great guests. They're funny. They're fun.
And
you
look
enjoy
what
them.
they put.
Yeah, the
Best
heart-
show ever. Best show
Thank
ever.
you.
Nice.
They didn't actually say that.
I know.
threw that.
I went with
I'm like
you on
looking.
that.
I'm like, I don't see that.
You'll never see that.
Sally's going, I don't
I totally
see
fell
that.
for that. I'm like, where is that?
Domestic disturbance. You have films on tap. You got limo talk with Greg. I don't know what my sexuality is to Filippo. And other than that, listen, come back everybody next week. We'll be here next week. Hopefully, Rich Rada will be back with us next week. And other
No
than that,
rhyme.
no reason.
reason.
Rich Walker, thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.